Part 3, we are at Test of Honor. That's right, we are playing this out of the Political Actions Mission Brief by Stephen Neer, and you came into our third week, Act 3. Things are getting hokely dokely. I don't know, that's why that's the only word that popped up in my head right now. I don't know if that's even bad or not. Okay, so anyways, let's go around. We want to introduce everyone. I'm Michael Dismuke, of course, one of the co-hosts here on Continuing Conversations. We've been showing you how to play Star Trek Adventures 2E with a wonderful group of people. And so let's go around in rank order as we do, and you're going to introduce yourself and introduce your character.
Okay, I'm BC Holmes. I do the character creator. I'm primarily playing Commodore Nella Zen, but I'm also currently playing the supporting character of Commander Thravic, the first officer.
That's right. Remember, all these characters you'll find in the STA 2nd Edition Quick Start if you want to reference who we're talking about. Next rank order, I think, would be Dr. Viral.
Yeah, how's it going? I'm Al Spader. I am playing Dr. Viral as my primary character, and currently I have activated Lieutenant Junior Grade Rashid Kamal, our con officer.
That's right. That's right. Next, Meric.
Excellent. My name is Meric Moir. My pronouns are he, him. I do some writing for the Star Trek Adventures RPG. And I am playing Lieutenant Commander Burke Van Jaxa, the Tellarite Chief Engineer on the U.S.S. Challenger.
Very good. And last but not least, Jim Johnson.
Hey everybody, Jim Johnson, project manager, line editor for the Star Trek Adventures RPG, Captain's Log, solo RPG, lower decks card game. And tonight I am playing Ensign Betazoid, Ensign Lanier Tenen, communications officer on the U.S.S. Challenger.
Exactly. So now, again, you can always go back and watch the first and second episodes to catch up to the story, but we're going to jump right back in. And what better way to jump in to Act 3, but with a Captain's Log. Take it away, BC.
Captain's Log, supplemental. The crew is confronting multiple crises. Dr. Viral and I are quarantined in sickbay trying to identify the source of the nausea incapacitating us. The Challenger is responding to a distress signal from a Tellarian ship, but may have stumbled into a trap to distract us from an attack on the Federation colony at Sigma Chlor. Our decisions over the next few hours could shape the politics of this sector for the foreseeable future and our crew's very survival.
Oh my God, that might be the best Captain's Log I've ever heard on an RPG before. So great start. So let's take us right to the scene where we left the action last time. Commander Xanthus Thravic was walking with Ambassador Kevdar and Ensign Tenen to go to the quarters of the attaches Rimtak and Solivan because Tenen had found out that a secret communication was going from those quarters to Captain Zar, the one that BC just mentioned is about to do an attack on the colony at Sigma Chlor, the Federation colony at Sigma Chlor. And keep in mind, too, one of the craziest things about this story is that the borders keep shifting and morphing, meaning what's the colony that was once in Federation territory is all of a sudden in Tellarian territory, and it's going back and forth. So there's that added mystery onto it. But what happens while they're walking to the corridor? Ensign Tenen is struck with the same nausea that's been affecting Dr. Viral and Captain Zen. And so let's start the scene right there. We're going to have Thravic and Tenen walking along with Ambassador Kevdar. They're almost to the quarters that they're going to investigate that encrypted signal coming out. And Jim, why don't you let us know what happens to your character? What do we see happen?
How severe is the nausea and disorientation?
Nausea 2. So it's enough to make you weaken the knees, and Thravic reaches out for you, seeing you wobble a little bit as you walk.
Yeah, so I guess I'm reaching out for a handhold on the wall, on the corridor wall, or just grabbing at Thravic's hand just to maintain balance. Busy. Oh, Commander, I'm not feeling so well all of a sudden.
Commander will try to wave over one of the crewmen who are walking down the corridor. Crewman Antonopoulos, can you escort the ensign to sickbay, please?
Sorry,
Yes,
Commander.
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Commander. I'll do my best.
It's obviously something that's happening to multiple members of our crew at this point.
Very good. Okay, Kevdar says, let's keep going, right? So we're going to head. Go ahead.
I think now, recognizing the severity of the situation we're in, I was holding the communique up to the ambassador a moment ago. I think the commander is also going to go over to the wall communication unit, hit the little button with the back of his fist and say, Commander Thoravic to bridge. We need to abort our rescue operations immediately and get safe distance away from that ship.
Very well, Commander. We need to get that umbilical disconnected first. I'll be ready to gun it once it's in.
That's a perfect time to do a quick cutscene to Vin Jaxa. Go ahead, tell us what's going on there, our Tellarite engineer.
Yeah, after having seen the after using my tricorder and like seeing the building energy behind the door into engineering, and then calling up to the bridge saying like, hey, help me out here, and they're not. I'm terrified, and I'm telling everyone, get off the ship, it's gonna blow, and we're running. So I'm just trying to grab as many people as I can. Starfleet, Tellarian, whoever. I've got the comm device out in front of me as I'm running and just shouting to everybody. So if we want to roll, I'd love to make some command here.
Yeah, well, I actually need you to roll on something a little different because of the direness of the situation. Remember, we're at momentum 0. Our threat is 13. I also want to remind everyone, we, in this scene, have no reserve power because we used it for the tractor beam last. And so to restore reserve power is going to be difficulty 2. So I just want everyone to keep that in mind as we go into some of the actions starting this round. In addition, I remind people, look at your traits, look at your traits, look at your traits. The traits on your sheet, the traits that I've also posted, because you're helping me tell this story here. So Meric, what we actually need Ben Jaxa to do is, this is actually going to be making a movement. This is to see if you can actually get off in this round.
Okay.
So that you're in a safe space to clear that umbilical. Because you're a Tellarite, I'm actually going to vex you. Instead of making this difficulty 1, I'm actually going to call it difficulty 2. Because you're not known for speed running, okay?
We're very dangerous over short distances.
Exactly. So we're going to go ahead and make this a fitness plus, you can choose either con or security. And this is going to be a difficulty 2, fitness, con, or security.
I think that Ben Jaxa is definitely pulling more on his security training to like, he's picturing this like a training exercise where he's got to move carefully in between things, and he's watching for any consoles that might be exploding or whatnot. Threat assessment. Let's see. We do have a support evac team at 2.
You sure do. That's right. So that would knock that down. Oh, that make that difficulty 0.
That make it difficulty 0. So it's not just me doing this. There are people here who are helping everybody get out. The Starfleet is coming together. Cool.
Yep.
So
good catch.
Fitness security. Let's try and generate some momentum. Just checking my focuses. Not particularly. I don't think I'm paying attention to Starfleet protocol at this moment. I think I'm running. All right. My target number is only 11 with a fitness of 8 and security of 3. And I got a 13 and a 17. But at least my difficulty was 0.
That was, you're right. So instant success. That's good. No momentum generated. So tell us what we see happen.
But it was a success though, right? Because it was difficulty 0.
Right. It's automatic success.
Yeah.
He was just rolling for momentum.
Yeah. So I think it's just like by the skin of his teeth that Vin Jaxa is like one of the last people off the ship going like, did we get everyone? Is everyone off?
Okay, so because you rolled a 17, remember the complication range is 17 to 20 also.
Oh dear, all right.
Right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add that to my threat and make it 15 because I want to show you all it is getting bad out there.
Uh-oh.
I want to really I want to really play into that. So
You're sure you don't want like an explosion behind me and Ben Jackson to be no? Okay,
No,
fine,
okay, yeah.
15.
Okay. So with that said, I'm actually going to cut back to Rashid Kamal on the bridge. So you just heard that it's clear. Now, mind you, 3 people did not get off that ship, and that's that captain of the Talarian ship who didn't respond. So there's still 3 Talarian biosignals on the bridge of that ship that is reported to you, Lieutenant Junior Kamal. What do you do? Oh, go ahead. You have a question? Meric?
Yeah, I would say as a transporter chief, if I'm aware of that, I would be going as quickly as I can to the transporter room to try and help get them off in a different way. Yeah.
You're moving that direction. Okay, that's fine. Come on.
All right, I'll open up comms to engineering. Hey, in order to get out of here, I need some power. If anybody is available to reroute some power to the warp core in order to get out of here at warp, I will need it. Otherwise, we need to get those 3 life signs off of the ship before it explodes. If there's a chief in the transporter room, please start beaming them over ASAP.
Okay, so first action you're going to take then is the regain power. You're going to use regain power. Okay, so that's going to be a control plus engineering task.
Yep.
This is going to be difficulty 2, as we mentioned, because this is your second time trying to restore power. So this is going to be difficulty 2, control plus engineering.
All right. I would like to buy a dice with threat, please.
Okay, so we're now at 16.
All right. So that is a 10, a 6, and a 14. A 10 and a 6 are successes. So I got 2 successes for getting reserve power back.
Wonderful. Yes, PC, so much threat she put in the chat. Exactly. All right. So please describe to us what happens.
So as I'm making that command, I'm gonna head over to the helm and start priming the cells to go to warp. And as soon as that power is there, it's instantly gone as a warp field starts to form.
Well, first we restore it, then we'll talk about getting warp fields.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. We don't want to jump ahead. And got to keep in mind, the umbilical is still attached.
Yes, it is.
So think about Ben Jaxa, your moves, who's on the bridge, because everyone else is spread out right now. So sometimes you got to count those rounds, right? So let's cut back to Thravik in the hall with Ambassador Kevdar as you are approaching the attaché's quarters, from whence the illegal signal, the encrypted signal, was going off to Captain Czar.
Yeah, I confess that the commander is somewhat torn right now, but I think that there may be some intel we can get from the Talarian spy here. So I think I will follow up on this particular thread. I'll take Kevdar to the was it a stateroom or a conference room where we could...
It's the quarters, and I want to remind you too, you have the trait of security team in there too, so we can envision that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll head to the quarters. Let myself in.
Okay, so you go ahead and punch it, and opening the door, right when you open the door, you see the first attaché, Solovan. That was the gentleman with the limp from some battle injury, and he's standing near the door, and he seems kind of surprised that you opened. You don't see anyone else. There's a side room, of course, because there's 2 different rooms in this quarters, his room and her room, Rimtac. So you do see him there, and he's kind of surprised. Commander?
I'm afraid to say that we have intercepted some surreptitious communications coming from your colleague, and we think that these communications are of a threat nature, and so I'm obliged to take the 2 of you into custody at this time.
Ambassador Kevdar kind of walks in sideways too, and he's like, "Where's Rimtac?" And at that exact moment, I'm spending a threat, so this is going to take us to 15 threat, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So, or do I have to spend 2 to get initiative with the
Yes.
bad guys? Yeah. So,
Yes.
taking us to 14 threat. At that point, when he says, "Where's Rimtac?" She comes kind of, from her room. She puts herself into the door jamb. She has a knife in her hand, and she's going to throw it directly at Thravik. All right. So because of the situation, you're kind of in a room. I'm going to say that you have opportunity for cover. So you can, with right now a, fitness plus security, roll what the task is going to be for me to hit. Right. So we're going to do an opposed tax on this. So you're going to go ahead and establish my difficulty
Okay.
with the fitness and security.
Just doing a quick check over my.
We're jumping right into the action, Act 3, folks. All
Let's go.
breaking loose.
All right, I'm gonna purchase an additional die by adding more threats to our increasingly large threat pile, but that will activate my intense species ability. And sorry, you said fitness plus security,
Correct.
which is a pretty darn good roll. Okay, so I got a 4, a 2, and a 15. And surprisingly, all of those are successes, including the 15. And I'm just doing a quick check of my focuses. I suspect hand-to-hand combat is not a...
Not yet.
Okay. Then I think that's just 3 successes.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I like to really ramp up stuff in this third act. So yes, I'm actually going to spend 6 threat so I can throw a full hand of dice for this hit. So it's going to take us down to 9 threat. And I am now rolling on, they're 9 and 2, so 11 is the target number for this. But again, it's difficulty 3. So they need 3 successes to even have a chance of this knife hitting. Go ahead and BC.
I also generated a bonus momentum, which I think,
Okay.
shall that be in play until the end of this
What do you want to do?
yeah, fair statement? Or
Yeah, you spend it immediately, it says, right? So, what do you think, Jim? Do you spend it immediately or do I roll first?
You can't save it, so you would need to use it. Use it or lose it.
Okay, I think I'll probably end up having to lose it then.
Unless you use and obtain information, if you can think of something real quick that you maybe observe or have a question about what you're observing that might be beneficial.
That's fair. Is there really... just taking a look at her stance, can I see some interesting routes of attack?
Yeah, well, you will be able to see that the minute she loses this knife, which is a common knife that was used and provided in the quarters for eating, that there's no other weapons that she would have been allowed.
Okay.
No phasers, anything like that. So after she throw this, she is unarmed. This could go straight hand-to-hand combat.
Okay.
Okay, and you would just have to take like 3 good steps to get to her at this point. All right, so let me go ahead and roll. 11 is the target number for this character. A 1. So that's a double success right off that. I rolled, the other ones are a 18, no good, 17, no good, 13, no good, and a 10. So she got exactly 3 successes with this. All right, so everybody, this is a knife. It's a simple knife, so it's 2 damage. Are you going to avoid the stress? Take it?
I think I'll take it.
Is it stun or deadly?
This would be considered deadly. It's a knife.
I think I'll just take that stress.
Okay, so does that mean are you? Let me be clear. Are you taking the hit and then gonna tell me how that takes you out for the narrative point of the story, or are you going to just dodge out of the way and call it stress?
Oh,
What are you doing there?
If it's just, if it's only 2 stress, does it still take me out for this narrative point?
Yeah. Stress indicates that it doesn't take you out by taking the stress. If you don't take it, then you're narratively saying, okay, it gets me and I'm down.
Okay, I thought that that feels like a variation I was not familiar with. All right, so then I will avoid the injury.
Okay, so you're avoiding the injury, taking the two. Okay, so how do you avoid the injury? And I do have to say, I'm not going to give it to you now, but I am going to, in a sense, make you kick yourself in the butt because you never called on the security team in part of your narrative to make that difficulty 3 to difficulty 4.
That's fair.
Yeah, shit it down there. So that's just a
You're
lesson
right.
out there
You're
to
right.
everyone. Look at your traits. So tell us how the injury is avoided.
Yeah, so I think that as I see, I'm going to argue that when I see the knife coming in, I'm taking the data pad that I was holding earlier and I'm trying to deflect.
Okay, cool, got it. And what I'm gonna do? Were you gonna say something?
I just had a quick question. Does the 17 that the NPC roll, is that a complication that they have to deal with?
I never. Do you? That's a good question. Do you penalize your NPCs with the complication range? I generally don't.
I mean, I would think a complication affects everybody, right?
I usually do it narratively rather than generating
okay.
momentum.
Okay, we'll do that. Let's do that then. So I rolled a 17 and an 18. So that's actually 2 complications then. So I'm going to make this really interesting then, because I'm going to have it so that the new trait that's added as a complication to Kevdar, or excuse me, to Ambassador Kevdar, the knight deflects and gets Kevdar in the arm. So we're gonna make Kevdar stabbed 2 to show it's a medical situation. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah.
Or it depends on how you use it narratively. Jim's sitting over there like, well, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
I
thing.
guess it depends on how you use it narratively, right? Because technically NPCs don't have a stress track. They would just be out. But if Kevdar is a notable or a major NPC, then they've got the ability to avoid an injury.
That's right. And if I remember correctly too, we had a nice trait, or you were in good with Kevdar already, 10 in your character, so he'll be joining you in sickbay soon. So we'll start Kevdar stab 2. Let me get this added. And now we go back to Thravik, because what do you do in response to this? You know, you're going to mark 2 on your stress track, but what does Thravik do next?
Yeah, so I'm rushing forward and doing a full out punch.
Okay, so let me go ahead
Interlace the fingers.
Good call.
Right. I'm going to roll 2 dice to represent, this is hand-to-hand combat, so it's an opposed task. Let me see if there's any traits that she can use to make her life easier, but I don't think so. Nope, nothing there, so I'll just go ahead and roll. She rolled a 9, which is 1, but also rolled a 20. So that goes to you as momentum, or you can do another complication. You define this time, BC. How does Thravik? Well, first, it's difficulty 1, just so you know. You still have to roll against that, but I'll let that 20 sit there and let you know you can use it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take it as a momentum if I can.
Okay.
I'll immediately use it to buy an extra die for my roll.
Okay, that leaves 1 momentum and 9 threat in the pool then. Any other traits?
I think that my hand-to-hand combat should apply in this case.
Yes, totally.
All right, so what I have is some awesomeness here. So I've got a 16, which, believe it or not, is fitness security.
Well, of course.
Are we daring security, right? Daring security. Still applies. So 16, 6, and a 2. So the 2 is underneath my security. So I think that comes up to 4 successes.
That is awesome. I'm going to one more time say to you, if you would have used security team, you could have been at difficulty 0 and had them, paint them into the scene working with you and get more momentum.
You're
But
right.
I'm not giving it to you. Okay, so how much momentum did you generate?
So if my target was 1, then I think that generates me 3 momentum.
Okay, so that would put us at 4 momentum. And just so you know, this is a minor NPC, which means 1 hit is all they can take. So please explain to us what we see happen in the attaché's quarters.
Well, since since a knife was drawn, I think that I'm going right across the jaw, taking the attaché down. Thravik is a fighty type with a mean right hook. So I think we're looking at a real boxers type of belt here.
Oh yeah, this is
And,
the
you
one
know.
where she goes up against the wall and everything, right?
Exactly.
The picture falls. Okay, that's cool. And of course the other attaché Sullivan immediately rushes over to Ambassador Kevdar, who's now bleeding from a shoulder wound with the knife. Okay, and the security of course runs in and starts holding down the other attaché and arresting her. How do you wrap up this scene, Thravik?
Yeah, I'm going to instruct the security team to take the other two. So Kevdar seems to have been reasonable, but and we don't really know.
Kevdar's the ambassador who got stabbed. Sullivan's the attaché who went to go help Kevdar.
I hear you.
Okay.
There's duplicity in this team here, and I even if I suspect that Kevdar isn't in fact part of it, I'm inclined to want to take him to the brig anyway. But since he has a wound, I'll split up my security team. I'll have two of them take Kevdar to sick bay, and the rest of the team will take Sullivan to the brig again.
And Rimtak also. She's the one who threw the knife.
Here's the thing. I want to find out what intel we can get. So I'm inclined to take Remtech to the bridge with me, so that I can question her on the way there.
Okay, that's going to sound good. I envision where everyone's moving around. Cool. Well, that takes us immediately now over to the scene where Tenon, you're being brought into sickbay, and Dr. Viral, you're there. Captain Zen, you're there. We're going to play this a little back in time because we know that you're coming in there while they're skirmishing over in the other quarters. So Tenon, you come in. Dr. Viral, Captain Zen are there. Dr. Viral, what do you do? You see Tenon coming in.
Trying to fight through this nausea. All right. I think that we have a couple of beds remaining.
Yeah, I'll stagger over to one of the beds and just kind of drop myself onto it. This feels terrible, Doc.
You're affected too?
Yeah, it just hit me when I was in the corridor with Commander Thravik.
Very well. I haven't made it much further on the diagnoses, but I got some information that I've been trying to run through the computer for some models, and hopefully we should have something soon.
Is it the what is in this cloud?
Ion storm?
Is it the ion storm, Doctor? Is this a side effect of the ion storm?
It could have something to do with the ion storm as well. It could be amplifying some effects. I had a moment where I was speaking with the captain, and I had a little bit of an idea of what could possibly be going wrong, but then I lost it. So we're going to keep working with it.
Who else on the ship has been impacted?
It's just the three of us so far.
So when we were mind melding earlier, it felt like this vision that we had of terraforming. Maybe I'm just, connecting things that aren't related here, but the idea of reshaping a planet and the experience we've had where space seems to have been reshaped in some way feel like they're sort of thematically related. Is there some phenomena or alien presence that could be somehow causing these sort of spatial perturbations, and perhaps that is also the thing that's causing our nausea. Is this a viable theory, Doctor?
It is a viable theory, but it doesn't explain why it would only be affecting us.
So
Maybe
let's roll
it's
the
just
last. Yep. So let's roll the last piece of this extended task. Based off that, this is our third roll on this extended task. Normally it would be difficulty 2, but we have nausea 2 as one of the traits. So that's going to make it difficulty 4, this task. I'm going to invite you, Dr. Viral, to invite others to assist on this task if you have a good reason why they might be able to help out, including Tenon, who we know is a Betazor.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if we had made any traits. No, I guess we did not. All right. So Tenon specifically, I'm going to have you, again, reach out with your telepathy and see if you can sense any other presences around outside the ship. Maybe the idea that there could be an entity that's trying to mold this region of space is viable.
So I understand, is this to create a trait to help you with the extended task? To like lower the difficulty of the extended task? That's okay.
I thought this was to get Tenon to assist on this, right?
Okay, that's fine. So you're going to roll the main dice, and then
Yeah.
your description is an additional assist from. Okay, I just want to be clear.
Yeah,
So you just want me to assist on this one?
yes, if you could.
Okay. Out of character, I'm just thinking I've got a great value that would tie into this, but and I could use my determination, but I'm not using my determination on an assist roll. I'll save it just in case something else comes up.
Okay, you'll get an opportunity, I'm sure.
But
Cool.
Tenon got some interesting information just now, so I'll have to file that away for later.
I still have my determination because the captain gave me one last time.
What value did you use? The value one value
I used my highest calling as a healer, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I also have this one called Truth Seeker. So if there is something out there that is controlling these spatial contortions, I want to figure out what it is.
Yep.
And I want to figure out why it's affecting us.
Totally makes sense. We'll
I
spin
think
that.
I would like to use that.
Okay. This is still reason and medicine for you, by the way.
Yep. And we have 3 momentum in the pool.
4.
4. I'm going to spend 3 of that.
I missed us getting momentum. Okay, great.
Yeah. I'm going to spend 3 of that to get 2 extra dice.
Okay.
One of these, so I'll be rolling 4 dice. One of them will technically already roll a 1. And it's difficulty 4, yeah?
Correct.
Would my cutting edge medicine come into play? Whenever Viral attempts a medical task with difficulty 3 or more, she may spend up to 3 momentum immediately to reduce the difficulty by a number of momentum spent.
Yes.
So I'll spend that last momentum to reduce the difficulty to 3.
When you reduce it more, I think. Read it back again. You spent 3 momentum.
For each momentum I spend, I can reduce the difficulty by 1.
Right.
So I'm gonna spend So I spent 3 to get extra dice. I'm gonna spend 1 to bring it down to difficulty 3.
Wouldn't that bring it down to difficulty 0?
Oh,
I
you're
see.
Getting the benefit of the dice from the first 3.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. Took me a second to catch up. Sorry.
I'm trying to generate more momentum back, essentially.
Do you get a bigger benefit by reducing the difficulty than you get by spending on dice?
I don't know. I bought the dice. I'm rolling them.
Okay.
We like to roll dice.
We're on dice.
All right. So that is 3, a 7, and a 12. And this you said was insight plus medicine?
I'll let you go insight plus medicine. Yeah.
All right. So that's target number 15. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total successes here. Tenon, your assist.
I'm assisting with what I guess
Insight and science.
Insight and science.
Yeah.
That's an 11. Okay, and I rolled an 11, so that's another success.
Wow.
So 7 successes total. Difficulty was 3, so 4. So we put the 4 momentum back into the pool.
So we're at 4 momentum in the pool now.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Okay.
fighting through the nausea and reaching out, and I guess we're connecting minds to some extent, just on some level that I'm helping you with. Yeah.
Very powerful. Okay. With that of course closes out the extended task too, because you only had 4 more to check off on that extended task, and the resistance was down 1 on that extended task.
Yep.
For that. So that's 0 resistance, and you're good to go. That's done. So this is amazing. What happens next? Okay, and then right after this happens, we'll have Ambassador Kevdar come in injured. But this is what you both experience at the point of this extended task. Now that your Vulcan logical mind can sense a presence, you can sense the presence is out there, right? But that's the logical piece. But with Tenon there now, he can actually sense the emotions of what's happening. And whatever entity is out there on this cosmic scale, it's actually trying to please people who have the strongest willpower. That's the sense, the emotional sense that you get from here. Right at that point, also your nauseas all go away at this point as he makes this connection. That
Nice.
trait wipes away as this connection is made. And you're communing somehow with this. You feel that connection. I'm just going to say that much. At this point, Kevdar and 2 security people come into sickbay, and he's here with a knife wound. Captain, you still have an action at this point. So what do you want to do as all of a sudden you feel your strength come back? And now you have this situation happening that you're not sure what's going on.
Is there an immediate use here? Like, I think that Commodore probably most wants to get up to the bridge as quickly as possible. I feel like, the only meaningful action would be to intercede with Kevdar, but I think that other people are better suited to deal with that, and I don't think that's a crisis. So I think my inclination is just, say, Doctor, do you think that, we're well enough now that I can return to the bridge? We have an emergency on our hands.
Still much testing and research that needs to be done. I'm not fully clear on why we're no longer feeling ill. This is a dire situation, however, and your presence is probably of better use there than here. Just return to me when you're done.
I could agree to that. And then she's going to dash out of the door.
Okay. And as the captain goes,
Sure.
perfect. And then I want to give Tenon an opportunity too to, if you want to talk a little bit about this, or do you want to add anything to it?
So the captain's getting up and leaving? Is that or the Commodore's getting up and leaving? Okay. Well, Commodore, permission to reach out to this entity that we've identified?
Permission not only granted, but encouraged.
All right.
Okay, cool. That's going to be a good setup. All right.
I'll settle into the bed and get comfy and get ready to reach out.
All right. I think everyone went, right? Everyone went this round. That was everybody. So of course does it make sense to you all that we cut to the bridge and with the captain coming on with Kamal there? Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and do that. Kamal, you're set on the bridge when all of a sudden the doors open behind you. And not only, actually, someone was going to the bridge.
I was going to the transporter room.
Yes.
So Thoravik and Remtek were headed to the bridge.
Yeah.
Correct. There you go. Thoravik and Remtek. So yeah. So basically the scene is when the captain comes on, Thoravik and Remtek have just gotten there. So this is basically what happens. So tell me where everyone's going to stand and move around just so I have it clear in my mind.
Yeah, so if there was a bit of time just slightly before the Commodore arrives, Thoravik was probably headed in the direction of the command chair, and doing that moment like in Journey to Babel, where the prisoner is standing beside the command chair with the security goon nearby. I'm just about to sit down when all of a sudden I notice the lift door is opening.
Okay, got it. And so because you can't play a supporting character in the same scene, we're going to need to have Thoravik over to someone else. Who's going to play Thoravik in this scene?
I might be involved in this scene, so Al, if you want to take, or Jim, if you want to take Thravik.
Yep, I can take him.
Okay.
Alan, unless you want him, I'll take him.
Well, I've got Rashid Kamal right now, so
Okay, I'll take Thravik then.
Okay, perfect. So that's good. So it makes sense that Kamal, I think you should give a quick report of the status of the ship real quick as the captain comes on, and that way we can hand it over to the captain to make decisions.
absolutely. Captain, Commander, umbilical still attached. We've recovered enough power to go to warp. I suggest that we hit it and we can have a new umbilical reinstalled at some point in time.
I like your plan, Lieutenant.
I'm pretty sure that I can navigate these ionic eddies on the way out, but it's going to be bumpy.
We can deal with Bumpy, and we can deal with fixing the umbilical later. Hit it.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
do I have open comm link? Am I hearing this?
Let's assume yes, because I think you probably got something fun to say.
I think Burke Van Jaxa is like, did we get the Telarians off the ship? I'm almost to the transporter room.
I'm not sure the Commodore knows yet. Come on. What do we know?
There are 3 Temerians on the ship that we're going to try to beam off. Sounds like Van Jaxa is on his way to the transporter room as we speak. Burke, give us a thumbs up as soon as you have a lock, all right?
All right.
Okay, and let me be clear about the timing on this. That last round was 9 of 12 of the extended consequence. So at the last person's last action in this scene, that ship explodes. And then you're going to have to deal with warp core breach, damage from warp core breach from the other ship, right? So just be aware of all your timing here and all of your actions.
So do I have time to get to the transporter room, get a lock, pull him over, or attempt to?
I say you slid in to get your hands on that transport. That makes sense with all the action that was happening, right? Since we first saw you running in the first scene, I think that's fair. So let's go ahead, and this is going to be quite the transport, because not only is it normally just transporter 2, but the other people are not on a pad. So that makes it a 3. But we also have the static ion storm, which makes it difficulty 6.
That's all right.
Right up.
Van Jaxa's very good at this.
Okay.
As the transporter chief, I can often get transporters to function in extreme circumstances. When I attempt a task to use, repair, or modify a transporter, I may add 2 to threat to reduce the difficulty of the task by 2. So
that takes it to 4 if you do that.
Yeah.
And threat's up at 11.
I think I would like to do that. Okay, let's see.
And transporters, as a reminder, oh my. This will also cost you. This will also cost you your reserve power.
Oh, does it cost the power?
Yes.
Then we can't do it. We can't do it.
It would cost difficulty 3 to get.
Yeah, I'll get there and I'll start doing the lock, and then I'll slam the console and I'll say, Commodore, we don't have enough power to get them out.
And clear the vessel. Oh, that's great. This is great. Commodore?
I think that they have made their decision, and we can't, sacrifice the crew of the ship to save them. Lieutenant, we have to leave.
And there's just like the moment where Jaxa takes his hands off the console and just like nods, aye, Commodore.
This is great. All right, what's the next action? Just the rip away from the umbilical?
Yeah, I guess go to warp. I've been given a command.
All right, Kamal. So this is what this is going to be then. Because it's attached to the ship, and you're trying to form a warp field to just jump away. I'm going to have to make this daring plus con difficulty 3. And failure will do a succeed at cost. I'm going to warn you right now what it is. It'll be succeed at cost, a possible hull breach that could cost lives. And I'll roll on the captain's log table to determine if we actually lose some lives from a hull breach with this.
Point of order that we do go back to 9 threat, because I didn't actually use it on the
good point.
on
Good
the transporters.
Good point. All right, so to that point, this is again difficulty 3, daring plus con with ship's engines plus con. And so we'll let why don't we let BC roll for the ship on that portion. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to go with on this.
Engines con, is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right.
4.
Well, we first got to let him roll first, because if he doesn't succeed, then you don't get that.
We have 4 momentum.
Got so much momentum.
Wait, can I be correct on this real quick? I want to make sure with the new rules. Because you used reserve power, it automatically makes whatever BC rolled a 1 for 2 successes, right? When you use reserve power. It makes that ship's roll automatically a 1.
Yes, that's true. It's basically like the ship's.
Okay, correct.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear with that rule.
But I have to succeed first.
Correct.
Is this a con task that has increased in difficulty due to environmental conditions?
Yes, the static ion storm.
Okay. So I will add 1 to threat to ignore the difficulty increase using push the limits.
Worth it.
Did I increase the but I didn't apply the static ion storm 3.
Oh, you did.
Just the umbilical.
That's
Right.
not an environmental condition.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna buy 2 dice with 3 momentum and see what happens. So this is daring. I'm actually better at daring than I am at control, so that's good. So target number 15. That's a 17. That's a complication, actually. 13, 10, and 6. So that's 3 successes. Was this difficulty 3 or 4?
Yes, it's difficulty 3.
Okay.
So that's good. And plus
And
2 more
BC,
from
yeah.
BC.
So I'm going to use those 2 from BC to cancel out my complication that I rolled.
I'll allow that.
And we'll just be down to 1 momentum in the pool.
All right, tell us what we see.
All right. So as I get the command and I'm pause for a moment before I actually hit, the go to warp. Because I know that we're about to lose 3 lives on that other ship. And I do it, and you see the warp field push out. And just as the other ship starts exploding from the rear, you see us, the stars shoot by us, and we extend a little, and we get out of there.
You burst from that static ion cloud, and there's this little glow in it for a little bit from that other ship that goes warp core breach explosion. Yep. Captain, what do you see? What give us something else that we see in this scene?
I think that while that's going on, the Commodore is having a quick consultation with the first officer to get up to speed on all the situations that have been happening.
Okay, Thravic,
yeah.
Add anything to that? How do you perceive this scene?
How to what?
How do you perceive this scene? What happens? The ship is flying out of there.
I think Thravic is stone cold icy, probably still regretting the loss of life, and but also accepting that sometimes there are losses, and in the back of his mind, probably thinking, good thing they're not our crew.
Very good, very good. Any actions you want to take on the bridge? Roll dice rolls or anything you want to do? Because the current order is to go stop Captain Czar's ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just a reminder that we have a clear executable plan, so that we're going to get there quickly. Venjaxa has taken a turbo lift back down to engineering and is probably going to work on bringing back reserve power.
Oh, that's right. We're down. That's right. I will call, and what I'll do is I'll make it so we actually have that as automatic, because this is ending a scene in a sense. So we take the last momentum out of you all to have 0 momentum in the pool. That will make it so that the next time to get reserve power is back to difficulty 1 in this scene. So I'm going to cut back to the medical bay real quick. I think Dr. Varel and Tena need to have a little discussion so that we can get into the next final phase of this act.
Tenon, is there a way to reach out and communicate with this entity and explain that whatever it's doing to change this space, it's causing destruction and potential war? Is there a way that you can convince it to stop, or that we're more willful? It's very confusing.
I can try, Doctor. I think if you have any any medication or any way to monitor my subconscious while I go deep and attempt to reach out to make contact, I'm going to lose track of my physical surroundings to go deep into the subconscious of the mind. So if you can monitor my life signs, I'll do my best.
Indeed. And like, I'll bring out what the heck was that brain scanner that they used in TOS that goes around the head? I forget what it was called, but I'll get you one of those ridiculous things out of a drawer.
I'll give that to you automatically because it's we're in the TOS era and you're in Bay, so that's the bonus. So when we come into this scene, then I'm gonna pretend that it's already on your head.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna have so that, because that would be more shocking to the viewers. Like, what the heck, right? So you have this on your head. Talk to me what you're gonna try to do, Jim, because you're gonna try to reach out and communicate with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna one of Tenon's back, he spends a lot of time in meditation, right? So he's just gonna go right, he's gonna settle into the medical bed and go deep into the subconscious. In fact, I'll probably spend a determination here to attempt to make contact.
Wait for that. It will come into play because I need to tell you something. So as you do that, you can feel it's out there. You can feel it. Its energy is so much that's why you're getting these waves of emotion, this understanding. You personally do not have the power, the brain power to reach this thing. And the only way I could describe it is, like say for instance, a dinosaur was walking by and you would feel the tremor on the dinosaur. And no matter how mad you stomp your feet, that dinosaur is not going to see you. It's not going to sense you. So your psychic output is nowhere enough to do that.
I'm guessing he probably would have done his research when he joined the ship because he's young and excited. Is there anybody else on the ship other than Dr. Varel who is, for lack of a better term, out as a psionic?
No others on the ship.
Okay. So I'll come out of my meditative trance and say, Doctor, I've done some initial surveys. I just don't have the strength of mind to do this by myself. I need your help.
That won't even be enough, just so you know.
Oh, that won't be enough. Oh, crap.
The two of you together are still not enough.
So do I think would we be strong enough to at least get their attention? Like if I threw a rock at them, Godzilla may not notice, but can I make enough subconscious noise or something for them to even make a notice?
I want you to look at your focuses, and I'm going to let you do a roll on this. And Dr. Varel, you can actually do an assist on it. But I'm going to let you do either deep space communications technology and subspace pathways. Subspace pathways is going to apply more.
I think because the ship's not going to do anything to help us, right? This isn't a technology thing. This is a.
Let's go ahead and roll.
Right?
So this is difficulty
What am I rolling
2.
now?
This is going to be for you insight plus science or engineering with subspace pathways, and Dr. Viral, you can also do this will be a insight plus science also, and this is to get a theory on what you might be able to do.
Oh, okay.
More information.
I'll give you a threat to get an additional D20.
Okay.
So that'll allow me to use my untapped potential for better or worse. All right. So insight engineering, that's a difficult target number 12. I'm going to roll 3 dice. Let's see. My target number is 12. I rolled a 4, an 11, and a 18. So I think the 18 is going to be a complication.
No longer. You're out of the static.
Oh, no longer. Okay. So just I got 2 successes.
And I rolled an 8 for a 3rd success.
Okay, so that gives you 1 momentum, and then you have untapped potential.
Right, and I need to roll a D20.
But isn't that just when you use reason, not insight?
No, you're right. Yep, I used insight. Never mind. So it wouldn't have mattered.
Okay. You've been watching the communications heavily, and if you remember too, you've been tracking a lot of what's been going on in this area, and you start making a connection, Tenon. I'll give you this much. You and Dr. Viral don't have the energy output able to do it, but you are sitting on a huge subspace engine.
I'm trying to figure out how I would apply the engine to. Is there a way
or other components of your ship that can channel power and magnify and augment power?
Can I channel that into our subconscious, mental abilities to boost the signal? I'm trying to figure out how I'm mixing my mental telepathy with a ship, with technology.
Doctor, yeah.
Doctor, I mean,
this is Star Trek. Pretend you were paid to write this by Paramount.
Well, you're the cutting edge scientist, Doc. Is there some way that we can use the ship to?
Are you looking to magnify our alpha, beta, and theta waves?
Yes.
Into the. I mean, I suppose we could somehow create some type of transmitter to the deflector dish to have it emit our waves, our wave pattern, slightly augmented.
Cutscene. Great. Great. Good. All right, let's head back to the bridge at this point. The situation on the bridge that's coming up over on the screen in the tactical display, because we do have Thravic's clear executable plan for the colony. You're about 1 minute away from that colony. Mind you, space is really looking funky. Do you all remember the picture from last? Right? Space is looking really funky. In addition, the Talarian ship is preparing to fire on the colony. It was clear, but it became aware of you all coming, and you notice it moves into attack position, seeing you all incoming at this point. Space is, at this point, starting to change again, and telemetry makes it seem like you are back in Talarian, on the Talarian border. Okay, you're back in Talarian space.
Are we out of warp and we're above the colony now?
You're moving in at warp. You're coming in warp. So we're kind of have you coming into the system, kind of, at that point. So, Captain?
Sure. Prepare for battle. Red alert. Get our shields up. And phasers readied. I assume that Theravic is probably going to be executing that. But what I would like to do is also turn to the prisoner and say, how's Captain Zar doing this? How has he managed to cause these spatial disturbances? This is your one opportunity to cooperate with us.
Honestly, I have no idea. We thought it was some sort of Federation weapon.
Interesting. So I don't think I have the full story about what it is that that is the root cause of this. So I think the best I can do is file that back in my mind.
But
Yeah,
he
you did have Captain Zen did have, remember, the connection with Viral where you felt the willpower thing and the quantum tug.
Yep.
Which is
But
one of
I
the
don't.
traits. Yeah.
Oh, and was I there at least for the part where I learned, where the team learned that that there was a consciousness that was trying to make people happy? Okay, all right. So then maybe what it's doing is it's picking up on the captain's desire to best the Federation.
And Sullivan just confirmed that he was working with Rimtac because he just confirmed that he had information from the attacker. We weren't 100% sure that he was in on the thing, and he just incriminated himself.
Well, no, that's Rimtac on the state.
You're right.
There.
Rimtac is there.
Yeah, Sullivan's
okay.
not.
Sullivan's in the brig.
Right, yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking, did I miss a thing?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, look at this. Clues.
You're okay. No. Okay.
Okay. All right. We're pretty sure that with the love letter, but
Yes.
all right. But you're raising a good point.
Rimtac. I was
You're
in the
raising a-
wrong character.
Okay.
All right. I think that we're preparing for battle here. I turn to the relief communications officer. Ensign Singh, send a message to the Talarian vessel to stand down, that we will defend the Federation colony if otherwise, and that we fully expect that we have superior firepower in the situation. It's time to end this peacefully.
They wait, they take the message, and then they report back that they feel that they have all the legal right and proof that you have violated Talarian space. Prepare for battle. All right.
But we're not going to take the first shot, but let's be prepared to return fire as soon as possible.
All right. Thravik, you want to make a call. You're there on the bridge. You're going to be in firing range by the end of your turn, Thravik.
Okay. I will ready the weapons and stand by for the Commodore's order.
Okay.
Sorry, so you said we're going to be in fire range at the end of this turn, so we could
Yeah.
take some setup actions? Is that a fair thing?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we could create a trait to establish some firing solutions.
Okay. And we still have Kamal too. Don't forget he has a turn at the helm at navigation. So what do you want to do, Jim, with that? Do you want to? And you haven't rolled either, Captain, so you have some options too. Don't forget.
That's a good idea. I am going to quickly go through my Rolodex of attack patterns and pull out some of my favorites and swipe them over onto Theravik's console.
Okay, so you want to
pattern.
create a trait, basically, is what it is?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Let's go for command and security or command and con. I think command and con would be more appropriate.
command and con. Sorry, command and con? Control and con, presumably, you mean.
Oh, yeah, sorry, control. Yeah, sorry.
Just quickly checking my options here. Okay, I gotta focus on Starship Tactics. That feels like it's appropriate here. But that seems like the best. I want 2 successes to create trait. Control and con is 14. That's pretty good. I'll just go for the 2 dice. Okay, so I've got a 2 and a 15. The 15 does not succeed, but the 2 gives me 2 successes. So
Wonderful.
it looks like we're creating a trait
Yeah.
for attack pattern row alpha. Huh.
Okay, attack pattern row alpha. All right.
RO.
All right,
Alright.
Chip.
So I'm clear. We're intending to target and attack the ship, right?
We are coming up with an ideal firing solution to help give us an advantage in the attack.
Okay. Well, then I'll do the minor action targeting solution, which locks our sensors onto an enemy vessel. I'll select the enemy vessel. I'm assuming they're within long range.
Yeah.
And so on the next attack against that vessel, we're going to be able to either reroll a d20 or choose which of the target systems are hit by the attack, assuming that the attack is successful.
Wonderful. So you're going to make a note of that to remind me?
Yeah.
Okay, you get that. Okay, cool. All right. What about you at the helm?
I'm gonna start attack pattern Omega 2,
And
which is
control plus con.
so it says you fly steadily to make it easier for your shipmates to target the enemy. If you take this action, each time your ship makes an attack before your next turn, you may assist on that attack using control plus con. However, until your next turn, all attacks against our ship are reduced in difficulty by 1.
Wow. Okay. Some good prep there. All right. So you want to go ahead and roll that? Control plus con?
No, I don't roll it now.
Oh, you don't have to.
Only
Yeah, that's right.
if an attack, I get to assist with an attack from our ship, essentially.
Okay. We're going to have to play through this. This is our first time doing a real good ship battle at this point. All right, cool. So let's pass it over to Meric, your character in engineering. What's something they can do knowing they're about to go into battle?
Well, we've got our reserve power. You said that we recovered that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think the only thing I can do is create a trait, because otherwise my stuff is very reactive. I'm damage control, I'm regenerating shields. Mm-hmm. So... what if I modulate our shields to protect better against the Talarian phaser frequencies?
Yeah, I'll give you that. Okay, so go ahead and give me a reason plus. Actually, this will be control.
Okay.
Plus engineering.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Difficulty 2.
All right. I'm just looking at my focuses and wondering if I can call this reverse engineering from the fight that we had before.
I'm going to allow it because you've been studying the Talarian ships.
Cool.
Yeah, I will allow that.
All right. So then my target number is 15. And I rolled a 14 and a 15. So we get 2 successes.
Okay, cool. And so we're calling it again one more time?
Let's say shield phase variance : Talarian.
Okay, good. I actually love full sentences for some of these sometimes. All right. So we all have a clear picture of what you did this round to prepare for this incoming battle, right? We're all good so far? All right. Now let's head back to the medical bay. Dr. Varel and Tenon, you were all working on something?
Dr. Varel to Burke Benjaxa.
Benjaxa here. Go ahead.
I need you to meet us at the ship's deflector. We need you to do some interesting modifications.
Very well. I'm on my way, Doctor. And turns to another crew person. Lieutenant, take charge.
And I'll look over at Tenon and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to grab another one of those and we need to make our way down there, see if we can jack ourselves in.
Any questions, Tenon? You want to take an action?
Nope. I think I'll get off and get off the medical bed and help the doctor if I need to gather that equipment, and then we'll hustle down to the deflector dish control room.
Okay, fantastic. All right, let's go into the first round, because at this point the enemies get something before the coming into the next round. They go ahead and get to start their thing, and of course, what's Captain Czar going to do? But actually fire on you as you come in. Okay, so they're going to be using torpedoes, and again, they are proficient ships, so they are considered 10 and 3, so 13 is Captain Czar. So let's make this fun. I'll go ahead and buy 1 dice with threat, so I can roll 3 dice with that. So that puts us down to 6 threat. And this time I'm not going to forget to roll for the ship. Last time I forgot to roll for the ship, and you guys got off really easy. I learned my lesson. So rolled a 2, a 14, and a 16. So the only one that's good is the 2, but that's worth 2 because it's oh no, sorry, he doesn't have an applicable skill for that. Now I'm going to go ahead and roll for the ship at this point. The ship is going to be weapons plus security, so it has to make a 5. Is that it? 5? Yep. So let me roll for the ship. 18. This is a horrible.
Nope. It's difficulty. The difficulty is 1 less to hit us. What did you need to hit? Because we're in an attack pattern.
Oh, it would be difficulty 3. He would have needed difficulty 3 to hit, so he failed.
No. You're firing torpedoes, right?
Yeah. Difficulty
because
3.
we're in an attack pattern, we are easier to be hit.
Which would make it difficulty 2, and he only got 1 success.
Oh, okay. I thought that counted as 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, it didn't count as 2 because that was his roll. So torpedoes fire at this point, and it fizzles out, misses you, whatever. So back to you, Captain, to make a decision. You're on mute, by the way.
Commander, return fire. See if we can take out their weapons.
All right, Commander, it's on you. So go ahead and do your, what is it, daring? No, it'll be control plus security with your ship's weapons plus security. So we'll let BC, we'll let you roll that. All right. This is difficult. You're using torpedoes. Are you using torpedoes, Thravik?
Did the Commodore give any indication if we should be using torpedoes or phasers?
I'm letting you use your good judgment.
Okay. And what was your command right before that? To knock out their weapons?
Yeah. See if we can knock out their weapons.
Okay. So Thravik is going to use one of his talents, which is precision, having detailed knowledge and understanding of ship systems and operations. He is going to target the enemy's weapon systems.
Okay.
So that'll allow me to re-roll a d20 if I need to.
Okay. Any other traits that you need to apply?
Well,
Attack pattern row alpha.
Well, we've got an attack pattern, and we've got Thravik's clear executive. Well, I guess the plan for the colony doesn't really apply here.
Oh, there's one that's not listed here too. Hold on, I didn't update the latest one that was created by JAXA 2. So let me put in the latest.
And that one was meant to be more defensive.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I just see the attack pattern.
Okay. So normally this would be, phasers would be a difficulty 2.
Yeah.
Normally, it was 1 more difficulty because you're targeting a weapon system, but then you're taking it down with the attack pattern row alpha to get it back to difficulty 2. All right. So this is going to be control plus security.
Difficulty 2?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and spend that momentum to get another dice.
Okay.
Folks are okay with that?
Absolutely.
And someone going to roll the ship assist for me?
BC will.
All right. I've got a 12 and a 14. Those are both successes. I'm going to re-roll my 17 by virtue of my talent. And I rolled a 1.
Woo!
So that's and using shipboard tactical systems, or shipboard tactical as a focus. So that's 4 successes for me, and then whatever the ship manages to roll, if anything.
The ship got a 3, which is equal to the security rating.
Wow.
Ship automatically,
No. Oh, yeah.
ship always has a focus, so that's 2 more
right.
successes. So
Wow.
that's 6.
That
And,
generated 4 momentum.
And because I went through and used my action for attack pattern, which is a con helm thing, I get to assist as well.
Oh,
Oh.
go ahead.
Do it. Let's pile on.
We're at 5 successes against difficulty 1, right? Is that
It's
where we're
difficulty
at?
2.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And you have
I roll the 5, which is 1 more success.
So that's 7 successes total.
7 successes with 5 momentum generated.
5 momentum generated. Yeah.
Oh my. That deserves an oh my. Okay, so we know we got a definite hit. So I'm referring now to the starship damage. And so this ship has resistance 4. Oh, well, this is talking about that. What's the phaser intensity?
Well, these are torpedoes.
Oh, torpedoes?
Did we
Yeah,
have
did-
torpedoes?
Oh, torpedoes. Okay, so then you only have 4 momentum then, because that would have been 1 difficulty harder with torpedoes. Difficulty 3 is the starting.
Oh, that's right. No, it would have been phasers then.
And it
Yeah.
would have increased the threat.
Yeah, it would have increased the threat. Yeah, we should use phasers.
Okay. So you have 5 momentum still. Okay, so at this
Phasers are damage 6.
damage 6. Okay, cool. And then this ship has resistance 4, so that means you would do 2 damage on it. Do you want to spend any momentum to increase that?
It's 2 momentum to increase by 1, right?
Yeah, their shields are just 7. Just so you know.
Well, we earned 5 momentum, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So why don't we spend 4 of it to up the damage by 2 more? So we did 8
Oh.
total. So minus resist. So we did 4 total, I guess.
Okay, so that takes their shields down to just 3, which is 50%. So if the damage reduces the ship's shields to below half its maximum value, the ship is shaken.
Right.
With the commanding officer or highest ranking character picking a damage result from the table below. So you already targeted the weapons.
Right.
So you can now, you want to roll on the minor damage results, or do you want me to read them?
Real quick before we do that, it's also a versatile 2 weapon, which means we generate 2 more momentum, so we can spend that for an additional damage as well.
Oh yeah, we should do that.
Okay, so that will then take. Let's see. So we were 5. We spent 4 momentum, so getting us to 1, and you got 2 more. You said.
Yeah,
Was
versatile
it
2, you generate 2 momentum, 2 bonus momentum when you hit with an attack.
Got it. So
So
the shields are
we're
down
going
to
to spend
2
that
now.
for 1 additional damage.
Okay, got it. So Jim, which do you want? Brace for impact. Oh wait, this is the enemy ship. So
Right.
what are
So
we
that's
doing?
got to be below 25% now, right? No,
Yeah.
not quite. 2 out of 7.
good enough for us.
Yeah.
8 would be 25%, but
Yeah.
for the sake of the game.
So if it's below 25%, then they're shaken, right? Which I think that's
But they weren't all.
I don't
They have a
remember.
breach. They get a breach too.
Well, but they're also shaken.
Yeah, they get a
Yeah.
shaken and they get a breach. But for enemy ship combat, how do we define the minor damage results from shaken? You want to just pick it?
I don't
brace-
think you do.
Yeah, you don't, huh?
Yeah.
That's a good question. See, we're all learning together. I got to look at the.
And then we can apply the breach to their weapon system.
There you go.
Right.
Yep, exactly. We'll just do. We'll. Let me. I'm just checking this real quick. Attempting to starship.
Direct hit, Commodore.
Yeah, exactly.
see.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that. So that's exactly what happened. So go ahead and who called this shot? Thravik. So go ahead and tell us what happens.
Direct hit to their weapon systems, Commodore.
Ooh, I've got
Excellent work, Commander.
I've got a Sirenscape sound.
Their shields are down significantly. One more hit should do them in.
Nah, that was too small. Huge explosion.
What was that?
I'm playing with Sirenscape and giving the viewers some random sounds.
Nice.
All right. So you did a hit on them. At this point, your sensors go off. I'm actually spending 4 threat out of my pool. This is going to leave me with 2 threat because there's kind of like a ripple in space. In addition, you see other incoming vessels coming in. And Meric, can you please show them what they see?
Absolutely. Are we looking at the three?
Yeah, the last one I sent you, the picture. And did you get it?
Maybe not.
Okay,
Where did you send it?
I'll drop it in for everybody. Hold on one second.
Okay, cool.
I sent it to you, but it's that way you can show the people at home watching it.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure which one we're looking at.
This pops up on the view screen.
I don't know when you sent me that.
Ow.
All right, and instead of all those ships, just picture 2 additional Talarian warships coming in to the zone at this point to back up their buddies. Okay, so we're gonna cut scene real quick.
Fresh to me.
All right, you guys want to marinate on that for a little bit? All right. So in the deflector control room, we see Dr. Viral and Tenon and Jaxa skid in to the control room. Take it.
I'm guessing we're behind time a little bit, right? So we're not seeing this. We're not seeing this elder god appearing out into the.
Correct.
Okay.
So we've got our 2 headbands around our heads, like from Spock's brain, and then Jaxa, you probably walk in and see us looking all ridiculous, and I'll say, then Jaxa, we need to plug these devices into our deflectors to amplify our alpha, beta, theta waves to potentially communicate with whatever this creature is that's out there.
And Ven Jaxa, like as he was running, was like grabbing like belts of tools and stuff, and he just grabs out 2 tools. He's just like, "Let's go," and like dives under panels.
We're hooking wires into us.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be amazing. So again, just so you all know, an assist is free in this game, but if there's a second assist, you actually have to pay for it. So this is a team effort, but you can all choose how you want to tackle that. I think we're going to have to let, for this phase of this gated challenge, it looks like we're going to have to let Jaxa take the first lead of the gated challenge. I already have Quantum Tug as one of the traits, so I'm actually going to use that in kind of a negative way because it's some pretty strange science you're all working with here. And so something that would be difficulty 2 normally is now going to be difficulty 3, and this is going to be definitely daring plus engineering for this move. And then you can choose. You're going to need to have at least Dr. Viral assist. And I honestly I can't as a game master force you to have another assist, but Tenon has that subspace pathways, which kind of plays into this. So I don't know if you want to. We could break him into a second action. It's a gated challenge, so we're okay. So you can choose to have an assist or not if you want. Then Jackson.
But we get penalized from that, don't we?
Yeah, you would if you had a second assist.
Is that costing us momentum, or is that increasing complication range? What's our cost there?
1 momentum per an assistant past the first.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to roll. I'm just looking at my sheet. I feel like I spent a determination, but I don't remember when.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was back when you created the probe.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Because I have a lovely value that applies, but I have no determination.
Can you use it negatively and take a complication? To get a determination?
So the value is, if there's no solution to your problem, invent one. But using that negative.
I mean, if I'm going to be hilarious,
Yeah.
is that whatever you're doing right now, you can use that, but it accidentally takes weapons offline.
That's pretty funny. I love that, actually. I think that that's great. Let's do that.
Okay.
So is that getting me back a determination?
Yeah, that gets it back because you use that negatively. You use that in a way. And so weapons offline. We'll cut in a second to the... Once you get this, if you succeed with this, we'll definitely cut to the scene on the bridge where all of a sudden...
Okay. So then I'll spend the determination on this roll to start Frankensteining the engineering together to enhance the alpha, beta, theta waves. And what are we looking for? Are we looking control engineering?
This is definitely daring.
Daring engineering. All right.
Yeah. And Viral can assist with daring and medicine
Okay.
if she chooses to.
And so I've preset one of my dice to a 1.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 1 momentum in the pool. So what's our difficulty here on the gated challenge? 3?
3.
With daring engineering a 13. I mean, I'll spend the momentum just so that we can probably generate momentum if everyone's cool with that.
Okay.
Cool.
You're at 0 momentum, 2 threat right now.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm rolling. So I've got 2 successes right now. Target number 13. I did roll a 9 and a 15. So just +1. So we're at 3 successes.
3 successes, good. And Viral, are you assisting?
Oh, right. Sorry. We needed the momentum for 2 assists. So I guess we're just doing...
Well, yeah, you can just do 1 assist.
Yeah.
You could always add to threat if you wanted to.
That's true.
Viral, what do you want to do?
Was I assisting?
You could if you wanted to. The next step of the gated challenge is going to be reaching out to this entity. So you could actually wait till next one.
Yeah, I'm going to wait and do that with Tenon.
Okay, got it. So in this one, we're just for comedy because this is you guys up on the bridge already took your turn. So
I pull a cable out and go, oh no.
Ravik, would you like to report what just happened on the bridge while you're in the middle of this battle?
Commodore, our weapons have gone offline.
I can fix it. I'm sorry. I can fix it.
What happened?
We need that back immediately.
We're rerouting some systems. Sorry, Commodore.
So there's 1 Tellurian ship that's been hit. There's 2 Tellurian ships coming in, and there's crazy entity up in space happening right now. So this is a beautiful scene. Let's cut back. We have to just to get their turns done. Dr. Viral and Tenon, how are you now that you're tapped into the deflector dish? What are we seeing happening here?
Well, if we're successfully tapped in, then Tenon's finding a seat, I guess, sitting cross-legged on the floor or cross-legged on the deck. There's probably not a comfortable chair in the deflector room, the deflector dish tech room, whatever. And he'll just he'll put his hands to his temples and he'll attempt to reach out using the power of his subconscious tied into the ship system somehow. It was probably a wild feeling to feel the ship technology coupled with his subconscious, and then probably pulling on Dr. Viral's Vulcan calmness and clarity of mind.
I think that once you sit down and close your eyes, within a moment or 2, I think Viral would sit down right next to you and try to like interlink arms with you.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, good. This is going to be, because it's weird science, to see if you can if this is going to boost your power levels to where they need to be. This is going to be difficulty 4, people. Difficulty 4. So, Jim, you want to start? It's going to be, this is again going to be a daring or insight plus your medicine or science. And that's going to be the same for Viral as an assist.
Daring or insight plus science. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Or medicine, whichever one.
Okay. And then I'll use subspace pathways as a focus.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll spend my determination. I think the value, the subconscious is the real final frontier, is the one that probably fits.
Okay.
Fits here. Either that or clear communication is more likely to save the day than phasers. Either one, I guess.
Well, you got to choose. You got to choose though, because you use it a second time.
Well, I'm all about the subconscious. I'd say the subconscious is the real final frontier. I'll use that as my determination.
Okay.
Spend, and we were out of momentum, right?
Yep.
All right.
So I assume that I would be assisting and the ship would be assisting.
Yes, I'll let the ship assist. You're right. That makes sense. So the ship assist would be structure plus science at this point. And so we'll let Jaxa roll on that. We'll let you roll for the ship.
Sure.
Meric.
Okay. And I'll give you a threat to roll an additional die.
Yeah.
So my determination will set one of those dice to 1, and then I'll roll the other 2 here. My target number is daring plus science. So my target number is an 11. I rolled a 4 and a 12. So that's a total of 3 successes for me.
So far. Okay. Wow. Awesome. Good.
Wait,
hold on. You spent determination, which makes one of them an automatic 2.
Right.
And then you just had and then you rolled a what?
I rolled a 4 and a 13. So the 13 is a miss.
Okay.
So a total of 3 successes for me.
Thank you. Okay.
Does galactic religions come into play at all?
No, not this time.
No one worships
that
this
was pretty
thing.
close.
Nice try.
Nice
I
try.
had to
That was
ask.
good. Yeah.
What am I rolling for the ship? What system department?
Structure plus science.
Structure science. Thank you. We got a target number 10. I got an 8, so that's 1 success.
Okay, so we're at 4 successes so far. 1 momentum generated.
Yeah, and I rolled a 5, so that's 1 more success for me.
Okay, so that's 5 successes, 1 momentum generated on that. Okay, good. Do you want to spin the momentum? Do you want to do anything with that?
Yeah, I guess obtaining information is.
Okay, let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you what happens first.
Yeah,
You can then add it to it. So surely enough, you now feel that your power is at the level now with the deflectors that you're like, I can reach this thing. In fact, you almost feel it like kind of buckle and ripple a little bit. From now, it's your dinosaur stomping to the thing. It now recognizes your presence. At this point, you have a question?
Well, I guess. You know what? I'll just bank it because I don't have a question yet. I just want to reach out to this thing and try to make contact with all my positivity and openness and curiosity. I'll reach out to this thing and just attempt to make contact.
Okay.
Positive feelings, and also saying greetings.
Okay. So what you notice at this point, I'm going to be spinning 2 threat that I have. I have 3 threats, so we're down to 1 threat in the bank. I'm spending 2 of those threats because I'm increasing quantum tug to a difficulty of 2, to a potency of 2. And the reason why is, Viral, you're the one who picks it up, is that even though the energy's going out, it's not matching the same phase frequency that one person was key to contacting it initially. So the quantum tug is in there. So you're missing one component to be able to really pull off communicating to this thing. Do you want to do anything right before we cut back to the bridge? Do you understand what I'm saying, or I'm being too vague?
Yeah, I just don't know what to. I got to think on that.
Okay. Does anyone else have questions? Should I just chicken bucket that and say what? Like, we're missing the one component of where this all started, and that's the captain.
We need the trail.
That quantum resonance, that tuning. It's like tuning in a radio thing. So just think about that.
Need the
and so no. What were you saying, Eric?
Sorry, just saying some symbiote.
Yeah, and you would pick. Yeah,
Tenon wouldn't know. Tenon wasn't there, so he knows there's something going on between the Doctor and the Commodore, but it wouldn't have registered.
Okay, good. And I like that. I like that suspense as we cut back to the bridge. And the captain, you see, everybody on the bridge sees the deflectors light up and start shooting energy at this entity. And you don't know what's going on.
Sorry. What's happening here? Report.
I think that's to you, Doctor. You called me in. Oh, you're muted.
We're kind of busy right now.
Oh.
Yeah, we're locked in communicating with this thing. You're the only person there that's not.
Cool. Excellent.
I'm doing a shipwide broadcast. Who's
Yes.
down in the deflector area? What's happening?
Commodore, Dr. Viral had a theory of how to communicate with the creature. Apparently this tied into some sort of strange mind thing with Ensign Tenon. I have amplified their alpha, beta, theta waves through the deflector dish. Was this not signed off with you?
Proceed. Let's let's unpack that later.
Sorry,
All right,
Commodore.
thank you.
I'm working on getting weapons back. Sorry.
All right, so knowing that we don't have weapons, I'm inclined to want to try an intimidation attack on the Talarian vessel. So I'm gonna signal to Ensign Singh to do an open channel, and I'm going to make a somewhat threatening announcement to Captain Yar, saying,
Czar.
sorry.
She's not in this universe too.
And Captain Czar, as you see, we are well matched to take down your shield, to deliver tremendous damage to your shields and to your ship. I encourage you to make a choice to save the lives of your crew and surrender now.
All right, so I'm going to do a pose task. I'm going to use the last threat that I have in here, taking it down to 0. And let's see if you can do it. He's a 10 and a 3 again, so 13 is his target number. 7 and a 2 was rolled. So difficulty 2 to get him to stand down.
Got this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to want to buy a die with an extra point of threat.
We've
We're out of
got,
momentum.
we've got
Yes?
one momentum.
Oh, do we? I missed that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it
Jim
for
generated one.
All right, thank you. I would like to take that.
Oh, okay, too. And I just forgot to. We got to take reserve power off because it's deflector thing. Reserve is down, just so everyone knows.
Okay.
What do we have anything else that's helping us here?
Always
I'm
check.
gonna learn
You
from my
learned. You
previous
learned.
mistakes and look at my traits.
You learned it.
All right, so weapons offline. Let's hope they don't know that. I had a security team. I'm not seeing anything that looks like it's going to help me here.
I'm such a nice game master. What about ship traits? Are there any ship traits that are on the ship sheet that might help?
Good point.
You also could point to the shields that Venjaxa buffed on our ship.
You do have their code or whatever. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have the variants.
I understand.
Could I argue that also maybe our fancy attack pattern row alpha has made us seem more impressive than we might otherwise be?
Yes, you can argue that.
Okay.
That puts us at difficulty 0. I'm so nice.
All right.
I'm such a nice-
I'm gonna roll. So then these 3 dice feels like they're overkill now. Okay, so my command presence, is that what I'm dealing with?
Exactly.
So I've got an 11, an 8, and a 2. And let's see if there's a good negotiation. Doesn't sound like it's applicable here. I don't think I have.
Totally. How's that not applicable?
I'm not negotiating. I'm kind of intimidating them. Oh, if you say it's applicable,
Okay.
I'll take that.
You're right. Yeah.
But what about starship tactics? Like, does that seem like it's applicable here?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Especially since we're, using the imposingness of our attack pattern row alpha, which I'll have to pull out again in the future. All right. So then that leaves me with 4 successes.
That's great. You're banking those successes, or what are you going to do with them?
Yeah, let's bank them.
What
All
about
right.
what if you put this out like on a broadband and not just Tsar, but the other ships also stand
That
out?
seems reasonable.
So
That seems like a good plan.
is that are you going to spend 2
Yes.
to create a trait for that?
Let's do that.
Okay.
So,
What's that called?
How about a dire message implying extreme negative circumstances?
We will kick your butts. Is that what?
Yeah,
trait's
that
called?
works.
We
kick your
will
butt. I
rock
like
you.
that.
We will kick your butts. Okay, I like that. That works. All right, Thravik, what do you do?
I'm curious. Are any of the enemy vessels reacting to this this space entity that's appeared in the area? Are they? Is their posture acting like it's an ally or an adversary, or are they just kind of there?
They're kind of there. They definitely are not. Man, how do you explain if a ship is? You all you know is they're coming towards you. You also know what you had Rimtac say, that they're already under the impression that this might be a Federation weapon.
They're what? I didn't hear you.
They had, remember, Attaché Rimtac said that she thought it was a Federation weapon. So they're coming only toward your ship right now. They're not really paying attention to it.
Oh, okay.
Travik, you want to take an action?
Ben Jackson, where are my weapons?
I'm happy to take an action to do that.
Okay. So that's going to have to be, to get rid of a trait is 2, right? So you're going to need to use your control plus engineering.
Yeah.
You could do it too, Thavik. You could do the roll technically by ordering,
To do what?
to restore weapons.
Yeah.
Prevents you from doing that from the bridge.
I can jury rig it though and drop it to difficulty 0. So I can make it pretty easy and get it back this round, and
Okay.
the repairs will last till the end of the scene, and I can spend momentum to increase the number of scenes.
Wow. Okay, go for it.
Okay, cool. So control engineering, target number 15, difficulty 0.
Yep.
To get rid of this trait, because I'm jury rigging it. I'm just like,
Yep.
If I hook the thing to this and then reroute through, it's gonna work.
All right.
And that is 2 successes, so generating 2 momentum. Do people want to play it safe and have it last for 2 scenes and just bank 1 momentum, or do we want to bank both momentums for other stuff?
You make the decision.
Let's say.
Play it safe.
All right.
Practice it. Okay, so
We'll play it safe.
So
We'll keep
So you'll write that. You'll note that it goes on. Okay, so there's 3 momentum in the bank.
Is there? Yeah, that's correct.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yep.
So I'm banking 1, and then we're using 1, and the weapons will last till the end of this scene plus 1 additional scene, and then they'll need to be repaired, and the repair difficulty for that is increased by 1 because of the stuff that Jaxa did.
All right, got it. Keep count for that for me.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
So Rashid Kamal at Navigation Helm, you get an action before we move to our last scene. Last one.
I think that I'm just gonna try to do some fancy flying to look aggressive, to try to intimidate the foes.
Okay. Create this trait. So let's go ahead and make that daring plus con.
And
Looking 2.
I'm just gonna roll 2 dice. See what happens. That is a 10 and a 13, so 2 successes.
Fancy flying is now
Fancy
added.
flying.
Good. All right, Dr. Viral and Tenon. The energy you're getting, again, you're pumping it out. You can sense it's there, but something is off. It's just not. It's not really It's feeling you, but it's not understanding you.
So at that point, I'll take my free arm, the one that is not interlinked with our communications officer, and I'll try to tap Ben Jaxa as he's trying to reroute power to weapons. And I'll be like, I'm assuming this is pretty wearing on us, right?
Oh yeah.
So kind of without thinking, I'll say to Ben Jaxa, hey, we need Syl. Can you get Captain Zen down here, please?
Who's Syl? Commodore
Give
Zen.
me the captain, please.
On it. And flick out the communicator. Van Jackson to the bridge.
Go ahead, engineer.
Dr. Viral says that we need you down here. She says that You are significant to this effort? Something about someone named Syl. Do you know who that is?
Let's discuss that later.
Very good.
I need an assessment here. We're in battle. Like, how urgent is this? Is this more important than the fight?
I believe they are speaking with the big scary creature.
Commander, I don't love this, but I think I have to leave the bridge. You have the con.
Before she does, Michael, does Tennant, do I have any sense that I could link up with the Commodore telepathically without her having to leave the bridge? Like, do I have enough power between Viral and the ship to reach out to her telepathically to bring her into the link? Or does she have to physically be part of it?
Baral would know. It's not, in her case, it's not telepathy. It's the energy of that quantum tug that needs to be added to the mix of alpha, beta, theta. He's going to have to actually get in close enough to the deflector to attune to that resonance.
Great. So,
right.
Doctor, something's missing. Do we need a physical connection or can we do it telepathically?
She needs to be here.
Okay.
All right.
So
Then
Thravik
head
has
to the
bridge.
turbo lift.
All right, Thravik, you have the bridge. We have we will kick your butts' trait, fancy flying going on here. So Thravik, what do you want to do? Because you got another Talarian ship. Two of them are within firing range at this point, and they're closing in. So even though Zar backed off, these other two are still closing in.
Are they closing in with an attack posture?
Oh yeah.
And it's up to me, right? So I'm going to fire at one of them using phasers.
Okay. All right. Which one, left or right?
Left.
Okay. So, yeah, there's no cover on this. These ships don't have any cover, so this gives you an opportunity to just go ahead and do that attack.
Okay.
Grab my attack. My attack.
And I'll spend. We don't have any. We're out of momentum, right?
You have 3 momentum.
Oh, we have 3. Well, I'll spend one of those momentum for an extra dice then.
All right.
And let me find my handy dandy combat card here. Hang on a second. So I'm using phasers again. You gotta remember the starship attack. Here we go. So yeah, I'm just selecting one of the ships. This is a control security. It's gonna be assisted by the ship. So someone roll the ship for me.
Okay, we'll have Al roll the ship for you.
My target's at 15. I rolled a 6. I'm sorry?
No, you're doing phasers, right? You said?
Yeah, phasers.
Okay. Difficulty 2.
I rolled a 6, a 4, and a 7. So that's 3. Well, actually, that's 4 successes because I'm using energy weapons as a focus.
Okay.
So 4
Ship
successes.
fails.
Okay, so 4 successes.
So you got 2 momentum.
Yep. And
Okay.
I'll put that momentum into the damage.
Technically, we have 4 momentum because remember they're versatile too.
Oh, that's right.
Nice. Okay, so you got 4 momentum. What's the damage on those? They do 7 damage?
7.
6.
They do 6. Okay, so minus the Talarian warship's resistance is 2. And so you have 4. So you can go ahead and take that up to 4 damage.
4 damage.
Okay, that leaves them again at less than 50% because they're down to 3 on their shields. So
Taken.
and then so that would make it another breach and
This is a different ship, right? So
it's a different ship.
So they're
Just shake.
they're shaking. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to figure out. I honestly, I'm seeing something I'm actually missing here is how to really rate what happens to their ship. It's almost like I have to do it narratively because losing power. No, it does apply to them. So you pick brace for impact, which means they may not make a major action on the next turn. Losing power, casualties, and minor damage means that the ship you give them a complication, or you can roll randomly on the table and.
I think brace for impact does a nice job. That takes away their major actions. That prevents them from being able to attack or really get away.
Okay, cool. All right. And this means now that ship number 2 gets to fire on you. I'll turn it to their turn, the second ship.
Our shields.
I'm assuming our shields are up, yeah.
Yeah, shields are up. Because
Shield fails variance, Talarian. The trait that I created to increase difficulty as they shoot us.
Oh, okay. So it'll make it one harder for them?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, so let me go ahead. They're proficient, which is attribute 9, discipline 2. I have no threat. Very good, people. You've warned me out. This is difficulty 2 for them to be successful. They got a 6 and a 19. So your shields completely absorb Talarian ship number 2's attack on that. Very good. All right. Anyone left on the bridge with a turn, or do we now go to Captain running?
Kamal, did Kamal go?
Oh, Kamal, yeah. Kamal, you get a turn. And remember, you're all out of reserve power right now. Just as a reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'll go back into an attack pattern, trying to split between the two of them.
Okay. And now apply the next turn, right?
That's
Harder for them. Okay. All right, we got Captain Zen. You're sliding into the deflector room.
Yep. I'll take a moment to take in what I'm seeing here. What is going on?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool scene, right? Dr. Verral and Tennant are sitting on the floor, linked up arm in arm, and they got crazy gizmos on their heads that are plugged into the console. So there's wires and stuff all over the place.
Captain, we need you to sit between us.
Okay. I'm just going to take this in stride. Don't fully understand the situation, but I've got 3 important officers here.
So we're going to kind of scoot away from each other a little bit, me and Tennant, and make room for the captain, and then link arms with them as well.
Okay, so this is going to be Tennant on lead. Okay, this is difficulty 4 with Tennant on lead, and you'll get an assist from, you're going to have to pay for the assist on this one because you get an assist from Dr. Verral, and JAXA is also going to be an assist on this one. So in order for this to work, it's going to have to charge you that 1 momentum on that. So taking you to 1 momentum on here. And basically what you're doing is, if this succeeds, let me tell you how this is. If it succeeds, you positively communicate to this creature that it's messing with everything. It's actually terraforming space. It should be called subspace forming, I guess, or spatial forming, because terra means so it makes sense to terraform space. Anyways, okay, I'll stop mumbling.
You're mumbling, Michael.
Oh, I said it's not terraforming because it's space. So it's not. I was trying to come up with a new name for it and was failing completely. So if successful, this is what happens. You communicate clearly to the creature that it's forming and messing with stuff it shouldn't mess with, and the borders get restored. If you miscommunicate, astroforming. There we go. Thank you, baby.
Ooh, very good. Yeah.
Astroforming. If you fail, the border will stay as, it will go away, but it will be set as it currently is, and that's what the Talarians currently in charge of this part of space. Meaning the Federation colony will be in Talarian space. That's how important this is right now. Okay, you wouldn't know this as characters, but this is a pretty big role right now.
I wish I hadn't used my determination already.
We've got
you could take a negative.
0 threat. Like,
hey, you could still go for a complication that, it's up to you. So this is definitely, in this case, Jim, for your character, this is going to have to be a presence plus command. For this, I'm going to make it for Verral because you're kind of tuning in with the telepathy here. This is going to be control plus medicine. And then for you, BC, this is kind of going back into your, you're attaching your history, you're tapping into your trio symbiote. So this symbiote, so for you, this is going to be your presence plus science on this, okay? So that's all your rolls. Difficulty 4. Take the lead, Jim.
Did you say that I was assisting? I thought you said that Venjaxa could help as well. Did I miss mine?
No, you're completely right. No, I'll let you, if you can creatively think how you could help with this. But because I'm sorry, this is difficulty 3 plus the quantum tug 2. So this is actually difficulty 5. I forgot I upped that. So this is difficulty 5. So yeah, you could spend a momentum, and then Jackson, you could do it also and do a control plus engineering.
I was going to say control engineering to monitor the power input to the deflector dish.
Yep. All right, go for it, people. This is the move.
How much momentum do we have?
0 now.
Oh, 0.
That's have 0 threat, right?
0 threat.
By a full hand.
Wouldn't technically we be +1 threat because we got 1 assist and then 2 additional assists, so we have to spend 1 momentum and then generate a threat.
Oh yeah, you do have 1 threat.
Okay.
Catch, Meric.
All right. So nice.
This is difficulty 5, you said?
Yep.
I have half a mind to give you a whole bunch of threat.
Let's
Yes.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a 6 threat then, Michael. I'll buy a full hand of dice.
Love it.
It's so good.
All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, this is encouraging. I rolled a 2, a 2, a 7, a 4, and a 17. So the 2 and the 2 and the 4, those are because of my focus in subspace pathways. Those are all critical. So that's 7 successes right there.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, you're at 7 so far. Everyone do your rolls.
Add 1 more for me.
1 more.
8.
No.
No.
I did get 1. I rolled a 7.
So that's 9.
9 successes.
Wow.
Does the ship help? Does the ship assist?
Yeah, the ship actually does, right? It did get an assist. I completely forgot. So BC, you want to roll a structure plus science for that?
I just rolled it.
Oh,
They
what'd you
rolled a
get?
2.
So that's a double. So that basically is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points for a difficulty 5. You generated 6 momentum.
Fill the pool.
So we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that quantum tug complication. Both
Makes
of them.
sense. Yep.
Spend 4 momentum to knock that out completely.
Okay,
We'll get a
so
firm hold of this creature and just
talk to it. Let's go. I'll be the creature. You're taking the lead on this with this group of people helping you. This is amazing energy happening here.
we are a peaceful civilization, and we need to let you know that whatever you're doing to this region of space is having a terrible impact on everything.
But the creature's desire to have this area, I am trying to fulfill their wishes.
And using all my empathy, you're destroying everything in this area. Is a part of your. It's part of our philosophy not to destroy, but to live, collaboratively with other beings. Do you share this philosophy?
I live to please. I sense great desire. I am just trying to please.
Who are you trying to please? Because we're not pleased. We're very sad. We're being devastated by your actions.
I'll let Viral and Captain also chime in on this, because they're kind of aware that the border's been going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Back and forth. So it's a test of willpower, obviously, right? Going on here. So if they want to add anything into this to talk to this creature.
I want to try to convey the idea that that the nature of the changes that are being made come at the expense of other individuals. So the pleasing that you're giving to some individuals is causing great distress and sadness to others. And that the only way for us to achieve some equilibrium is for us to be the people who like for all of us to have to be at the table and negotiate in good faith. We need you to leave things as they are so that we can come to a happy place together.
Very good. Dr. Viral, what did you add to it from your perspective to talk to
Your choice to find joy in helping other people get what they want is inspiring. However, when two people or two species are located near each other, it can create great tension among them should you expand and contract their territories. This is something that we could all sit down and discuss together, but we would need you first to reset things to how they were when you first arrived.
I understand. Sensors on the bridge. You see this creature gone in like a wormhole effect. You check your spatial sensors, astronomical charts. Things restore to what they were at the time of the treaty. The Talarians are currently now in Federation space. Thravik, you're on the bridge of the ship.
It's hard to switch gears. I'll open up a channel. Talarian vessels, stand down.
And they do. All right. Let's go around. Let's close off. What happens at the end of all of this? Okay, we're going to go in reverse. We'll go in reverse order, and we'll deal with just the main characters on here, unless you want to add in about the support characters you had. So, Tenon, what's your wrap up in this episode?
My wrap up is do we have any momentum left?
2. Mm-hmm.
We have momentum. So if I need to, I would like to spend. I'll either ask you a question or I'll spend the momentum to obtain information. As that link, the telepathic link, is breaking up. Other than the doctor, myself, the Commodore, and the alien entity, was there anything else in that link?
Additional information that it had?
No. I mean, was there another presence in that link other than the four of us?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
And I know it was. Do I know where it was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, completely oblivious.
Tenon will slump against. I guess the Commodore's in between us. So the Tenon will slump against the Commodore and breathe a deep sigh of relief, and wearily disconnect the electronic gizmos from his head. Whoa, that was something else. I'm tired.
You did good, kid. You did good.
As did you, Captain. And I take that thing off my head. I didn't realize how bloody uncomfortable these things were.
Especially with the ears, it doesn't make it easier.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go over to, let's see, we said rank order. So back to Jaxa. So what's your wrap up for this?
Oh, well, immediately Venjaxa will be looking at the mess in this area and going, well, time to put it back together. The engineering crew's been working hard. I don't think I need any extra hands. And he'll go in and start fixing the weapons and putting things back to the way they were. Pretty much in his happy place.
Nice. Doctor, and plus you have this big hole breach from the ship getting ripped apart.
Oh yeah, the umbilical was torn off.
Yeah. How about you? Oh, go ahead.
My pastime is in metallurgy, so he'll probably spend a little time like looking at the way it sheared off and like admiring the stresses on the hull from a warp jump tearing metal. Like, you don't see this every day.
That's true. Good point. Dr. Viral, what's your wrap up?
I think that I'm going to head back, to my medical office and just start like looking at the brain scans that I did and trying to just piece together what actually happened. Probably some time by myself to process, but within a few hours, I'll definitely want to get out and start socializing.
Okay. Now, Captain with the trill.
Yeah. So can I have two little moments? So
please.
At one point, I'm going to get Kamal and Thravik into the ready room and say, I need you to write up an accurate and factual report about my decision to abandon the three remaining crew members of the Talarian ship. I believe that I took the right action given the danger involved and their threats against us, but let's get this on the record. I don't want to shy away from my responsibilities here.
Nice.
And then I think the second of the two moments I would like to do is after Dr. Viral has had time to, go away and have alone time, I think I'll go down and visit her in the sick bay, in her office in sick bay, and say, keeping secrets from the crew is starting to get complicated.
Yes, it is getting complicated. However, I think it is important for us to try to maintain the confidence as best we can.
I think I can leave it at that. We'll just fade to black at that moment.
I love that. I would almost have ended the scene with you walking in, camera on you, saying that line, like, keeping secrets from the crew is complicated. I would have so ended the show right there.
and have Tennant walking by kind of going,
Yeah, right? Especially. Okay, cool. So I want to say, first of all, amazing job, everyone. I know one of the things I had asked when we started this 2 months ago, because we had to skip and record these, was asking what you wanted to get out of the game. And so some of the things that you had said that asked me to put in is some of you liked some of this cosmic weirdness, strange things was something. BC wanted to delve into her character also a little bit more with the trill. Dr. Viral said, I think you said you wanted a medical mystery.
Yep.
Yeah, so I took this test of honor and created a medical mystery out of it. I added the whole nausea thing, which was not part of the original brief, but I brought that in. And Jackson wanted a chance to do cool stuff with engineering. I know that was something that you said. So hopefully that met your needs. Let's have a go around what you thought, and we'll close it out. Let's go, Captain. Let's go rank order, starting with Captain.
I think it was great. I particularly like the variety contrasting this session or this adventure with the last adventure. Very different. I'm there for it. I enjoyed it.
Well, here, Dr. Viral.
Yeah, I think Jim mentioned it earlier that shifting gears from one scene to the other was tough. Like I that was really working hard because I felt like I was really getting into the talking to the space creature, and then all of a sudden we were like bouncing back and forth in between combat. So that was really tough. It was a good challenge for me as a role player. But I think, again, thinking of it as like a television show, I feel like the slip out of that name while under mental duress, I thought just made sense, and it adds another layer to our character relationships. So that's kind of why I threw it in there.
Loved it. I loved the whole medical base. I thought those were really fun exploration there. Jaxa?
I think the highlight for me was definitely like the very cinematic moments of jumping away from the exploding ship or knocking down the traitor. Like all of those moments were really cool and very visual and really, really felt like that kind of TOS Strange New Worlds era adventure. I think that really played well in this episode. So kudos to you, Michael. That was great.
Oh, no. You all made some tough decisions. I was actually really surprised with some of the decisions you made, but they were really, really good. Tennant.
I had fun. I don't get to play this game as much as I would like to. So it was really nice to be able to just sit back and play it with a bunch of great people. So thanks for all that. And thanks for running it, Michael. Really appreciate it. I agree with Al, but it was really hard to switch gears between one really dramatic scene where my main character was focused on it and then playing a supporting character in another scene that was equally as important. And I kind of felt like somebody needed to be a main character in that combat as opposed to it being all supporting characters. Because if it was all supporting characters, I almost feel like that could have been just kind of like maybe narratively handled and we could just focus entirely on the the medical connection thing, but that's beside the point.
That's a really good point, actually. I'm going to take note of that.
Yeah, but at least it wasn't two NPCs talking to each other, right? That's the worst.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the cosmic kind of connection there, in addition to the more immediate problem. I think that's just good traditional Star Trek, is having multiple things going on at the same time. We had some pathos, we had some drama, we had some casualties, which was interesting. And for Tenen's got a secret, and he has to figure out what to do with that. Like, does he approach the Commodore? Does he approach somebody else? Does he kind of hold it in? Like, he knows stuff that he's probably not supposed to know, and he's not sure what to do with it because he's a young untested ensign, and he's got to kind of think about that. So it's the kind of thing that I really enjoy in a role-playing game that I would like to see. Like, okay, so what happens next? Right? Obviously, we'll go into the next mission of the week or whatever, but like those through lines for the characters are important. And I also just say, I think as we get more into playing, I guess my reminder, I guess this is a question for players and game masters, like in your session 0 or your ongoing session 0, talk about how you want to handle traits and how you want to remind your fellow players to use or not use traits, right? I was kind of struggling with that a little bit because I was like, well, my character's not in the scene, so maybe I shouldn't say anything. But then as a player supporting another player, maybe I should kind of like gently remind everybody that we've got traits that we can use. I'm not sure. So maybe there's just like a group pact that we could come up with to say, yes, remind people all the time, or maybe not, if you're in the scene or not. Because like traits are super important. And I think this whole episode really showed how important traits are because it impacted everything. So fun times. Thank you, Michael.
All right. Well, cool. Well, we know the adventure and the conversation continues. So thank you all for participating. Thank you all for watching. And of course, hit us up on social media with any questions. We're always happy to answer. IDIC.
Live long and prosper. Be safe. Be well. We'll talk to you all next time.